Hi Kathy, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good, that's good to hear. I'm so glad you can make it. I just wanted to ask you, how did your volleyball game go last week? I know you had a huge rivalry.
Yeah, it was really good. We ended up winning, so.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
good. I know you were excited about it, so I'm really glad to hear that. I just thought about that
Yeah,
over the weekend. I was like, I can't wait to
definitely.
ask her how they did. So also last week you had mentioned that with the holidays coming up, you were a little nervous. I know we've been discussing you're trying to lose some weight, and I know the holidays can be a very hard time for everybody with all the parties coming up and endless buffets and all that comes along with the holidays, along with being with the ones you love. It can be a nerve-wracking time. And so I wanted to use today, if it's okay with you, to talk about the upcoming holidays. Is that something you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, definitely. I'm starting to feel a little bit anxious about it. So.
Okay. Oh, good. All right. Well, I'm glad that you said some way you're feeling anxious about it. So
Yeah.
given that we are closest to Thanksgiving, is it okay if we talk about Thanksgiving first and see if we have some time to go over the other holidays?
Definitely.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called a thought record. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
What we're going to do is I'm going to ask you how you feel about Thanksgiving, the whole day, thoughts that come to your mind, and certain things that may trigger these thoughts.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you a notepad. So here you go. And what you said is that you are feeling a little anxious, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to write down the things about Thanksgiving that are making you feel anxious.
Okay. Okay. So, I just kind of came up with two of them that came off the top of my head.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's start with the first one.
Okay, so the first one that came to my mind was the timing of our meal.
Okay.
Usually when we all get there and we'll be ready to eat within like an hour or whatever, there's always like a lag of about 3 hours that my aunt, she's the one who cooks, and so she'll like miss time or something like that, and it'll always be like 3 or 4 hours after we thought. So I'll be like really, really hungry during that time. So any food that's out there, I'll just be constantly snacking on, trying not to eat too much, but I usually end up filling up before the meal, and the meal gets there, and I'll feel obligated to eat because my aunt prepared this wonderful meal for us, and so, and everybody else is eating, so.
Yeah. Thanksgiving is full of great food.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from that is there is a time between when you're supposed to eat and when you actually eat of about 4 hours.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny how that goes. It happens, I guess, to a lot of families, I would assume. So let me ask about how you go there. So when you go there, do you go there hungry or?
I'll usually eat a little bit of something because we usually plan for 3 o'clock, and so that's kind of a weird time anyways. So I'll usually have like a smaller lunch, but nothing that would keep me full.
Okay, and does your aunt have Thanksgiving most of the time every year? Is she the one cooking?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess that she does this pretty much every year. Says she's gonna cook at 3, but really doesn't cook till 7.
It's pretty regular.
Okay. So what can you do to make yourself feel less anxious about that 4-hour time gap to somehow ease your anxious feelings?
Well, I guess maybe knowing that, or not being hungry would probably help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe eating a bigger lunch or something like that, or
yeah, because you said you're just having a snack right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely would help. Go there not as hungry.
Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, 4 hours is a long period of time.
It is. Well, I mean, my cousin has a 3-year-old, so maybe playing with her, like bringing her outside, kind of getting myself away from all the food, maybe.
Yeah, sometimes that's the hard part with having food just in front of you. So that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
3-year-olds are a lot of work, and then there's some exercise with that too.
Right,
so
definitely.
no temptation around that.
Right. Definitely.
So there's 2 things you can do. You can go there. You you can have a bigger lunch before you go, so you're not as hungry. And you can also go outside, play with your, or do you say niece or nephew?
Niece, yeah.
Niece, you play with her. Those are two solutions around it. Those are great things. And does that make you feel, do you feel like you can do those things, accomplish those things?
Yeah, definitely. That definitely takes a little bit of the stress away from it a little bit.
Okay,
so.
good. That's what we're aiming for here. So then what's the next thing you wrote down?
The next thing was lots of desserts.
That is one of the best parts of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so
And the hardest.
my mom makes a whole wide array of desserts. It's not just like one or two things. It's like a whole wide array of desserts, and I feel obligated to try them all. And then, you know, you get that sweet thing, and it's just really hard to stop. So I kind of feel like I'm a little out of control.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the dessert table makes you feel out of control.
Yeah.
You're not alone. It's something that a lot of people have a hard time with. There's so many delicious foods. How do you pick which one? So what can we do to make you feel like you have a sense of control? Like you don't feel anxious or a loss of control around the sweets?
I don't know, maybe another distraction to stop walking past the table. Or maybe setting like a limit for myself somehow.
Okay. I mean, there's so many desserts, I'm guessing, you know, at Thanksgiving. There's probably a few that you see all the time that maybe aren't as appealing. What about if you were to, because we still want you to have the desserts. It's part of Thanksgiving, you know, you need to stick to the traditions and enjoy yourself. But you don't want to feel a sense of loss of control. So can we try smaller portion sizes? Do you want to rank which ones are your favorite and maybe just try have a few of those? Or do you want a little bit of everything?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think is the best way you can handle the sweet table?
I would say probably picking out like my top 3 desserts and then just having a fraction of what I would normally have. So maybe like just grabbing one of those small dessert plates and then putting a couple things on that, and then just, you know, kind of making sure that I don't go back. Like maybe drinking, I don't know, more water or something.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea. Do you feel like that's something that you can do? Because you do want to enjoy yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think I could, because, I mean, we have pumpkin pie every year, so I feel like maybe skipping that this year and trying something different would probably be okay.
Yeah, exactly. And a little bit won't hurt you.
Exactly.
So are those the 2 only things that upset you about or make you feel anxious about the holidays, or anything else?
Yeah, about Thanksgiving, that's probably it. I definitely feel more in control with all that already.
Okay, so just to summarize what we're going to do, or what you're going to do on Thanksgiving, you are going to maybe eat a lunch, a big lunch, so you don't go there hungry.
Yeah.
If you are finding yourself around the appetizer table, you are going to try just to play with your niece and just get away from the whole situation so that you don't even have the stimulus of the food to see.
Definitely.
And then the sweet table, which is after dinner, you are just going to try a few of the things you really want and put them on a small plate. That way you don't lose control and you still are able to enjoy the food that you're looking forward to.
Yeah, definitely.
And does this sound like something that you think that you can do?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
And how does it make you feel to know that you have this plan and that you feel like you're saying you can commit to it? How does it make you feel?
A lot more confident.
Good.
Definitely not
Good.
as anxious.
Good. I'm really glad to hear that. That's what we're here to talk about, make you feel better. So now that we have Thanksgiving out of the way, is there any other problems when you think of Christmas or New Year's?
You know, I kind of feel the same way. The timing of meals thing wasn't as big for any of the other holidays, but just having the huge amounts of food everywhere, it's I don't know, it's very hard to not feel anxious about it for me. So,
Yeah. It's understood. I think a lot of people share those same feelings. especially when they're trying to lose weight and there's just so much temptation out there, and you're with your family, and it's just there's times where a lot of people have a hard time staying on track. But I feel like with what we did today, you were able to figure out what makes you anxious and find ways around that.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you can apply what you learned today in future holidays like Christmas and New Year's?
I think I probably could, yeah. It's definitely very similar feelings, so I think I could, yeah.
Still the same big buffets and still wonderful treats, and
yeah, definitely.
they're so all close together.
I know. There.
Well, I'm glad that you're feeling more confident with going into the holiday, especially because the holidays are meant to be around the people you love. So hopefully you won't have any anxious feelings about that anymore. And I just wanted to thank you for coming and seeing me as usual. It's always brightens my day to see you.
Yeah, thanks.
And I just was wondering if there's any other questions you have for me before we end our session today.
I don't think so. I think I'm definitely confident and ready to go to the holidays.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, you have my email, you have my phone. You can just give me a call or a message if there's anything that you think about that you're still nervous about or anxious about with the holiday. You can just send me an email or send me a call, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay.
And other than that, I'll just plan on seeing you after the new year.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Thanks.